So welcome back. Today is Wednesday? I lost count at this stage. No, it's Wednesday. Before I start today's video, I have to kind of apologise. I might look a bit pale or a bit off form. I might sound it as well, but I have a really bad flu. I haven't had a flu in about 5 years, or cold, or whatever you want to call it. And this year, or the end of last year, I had 2 real bad ones, and now I have another one again, all in the space of a couple of months. I don't know where they've seemed to come from, but I know they're going round at the minute and picked up somewhere along the line, but I'm just far from myself at the minute because of that. But I'll keep soldiering on. Anyway, I have a cow just after calving there. The calving pen, I'm just after putting her back out. She's in there in the corner and she's just finished with. I'm after putting her out of the calving pen because there's another one ready to calve. Well, there's actually 2 there ready to calve as well. So I'm going to pick out the one that's closest now. I'm going to put her into the calving pen and leave her there for a while. We're going to be getting into it now thick and fast because we have about 10 cows going to calve now before the 6th of January. So yeah, it's going to be a busy couple of days. But I don't mind. It's nice to see new calves. We have 3 now, including that one in the calve. We should have 2 more today. That'll bring us up to 5. We should have either 1 tonight, or if not, we'll have 2 tomorrow. And that's going to add the numbers up quickly. Now, so far we have 1 heifer that you've seen in the last video, a red heifer, and we've 2 bulls. If you're new to our channel, this is our calving pen. These 2 gates come across here and join in together. Don't have to tie them because the cow's never going near them. And I'll open this little thing here. I'll let this cow out. Now, another thing, if you're new to our channel, you wouldn't have seen this before, but I have shown it in other ones where my cows, they kind of have this nature about them, that when they're coming close to calving, they make their way towards the door and they stand at the door waiting to get out. And it's a good indication for me, letting me know when they're going to calve, of course. They don't all do it, but most of them do. So you can see the tail up in the air. She's sick to calve. She's mad to actually calve. She just wanted to get in to get laying down. So she'll calve now probably in the next hour or so. So we'll come back to her in a wee while when she's calving, and we get up here and start working on our loader. Alright, so we're at our loader here. And the locking mechanism, that's where we're having a problem. This morning I was putting in silage and the actual thing opened, and I almost lost my shear grab when I tilted it down. It nearly came off the thing completely and would have pulled the pipes probably out of it and everything. So it's been on its way out quite a while now, and the main issue is, you can see here, when I move this lever back and forth, it's all loose and it's just hanging asunder and it's not staying in place. That's supposed to spring closed there and stay closed, and then you're supposed to be able to bring it across here, and it pulls itself again that, and then this here taps it, locks into place without you getting off the tractor. But as you can see, it's a mess. So these bolts here, they were on it when I got it. That's the wrong bolt for that. It's too loose. The holes on both of these are completely worn out, all worn open. So we're going to have to take these all apart and see, can we fill these holes up and put a new bushing in or something to stop that from moving around so much. They are supposed to move, but not as much as that. Our ram that's in here, just like you'd have in a back window of a car or a sunroof in a tractor, they're all the same thing. It's busted. It's not doing its job because it should be pulling that back. In fact, when I look at it now, it's on backwards. That should be the other way around. That should be pulling instead of pushing. That's actually on the wrong way around, so it's busted a while. It hasn't been working in a long time. So anyway, let's tear into it and see what we can do. Oh. Right, so there's our cylinder, and that shouldn't be in like that. That should be pushing out all the time. You can see there's nothing in that. That's gone completely. I think the reason what was wrong here was they didn't have enough washers on it. Yeah, 1 more washer probably would have did it. These pins, they're threaded. They're supposed to be threaded, but that one has no threads in it, so obviously someone has drilled it out. You can still see the wee remnants of thread in there. So someone just drilled it out and put a bolt straight through it. Doesn't do any harm, but it's not the way it's supposed to be. You can see the way these wear. So yeah, we're going to replace all that. So got brand new bolts here. This little bushing is supposed to be what's in here. Now that one isn't worn too much. It actually is quite good, so I'm not going to really have to do too much to that one. I mightn't actually have to do anything. But that stops that whole play and moving back and forth. But this here is a new pin, and you can see the way it's threaded. And that's supposed to screw into that there, without any bolt at the back of it at all to rub again the guard in the front. Alright, so we're in here on the bench. Sorry about the flickering lights, that's the LEDs for you. But this guy here, the more I look at it, I'm not that terribly happy with it. This fella here goes up there, that bushing, but there's still too much movement in that. The other side is really bad. Like, this is the pin still in this one, and you can see, look at the movement that's in that. It's just worn out. So I want to get the MIG welder out. I'm going to go around that with weld on both sides, try to fill that up as best I can, and then we're going to grind it out again, try to round it off. You see the way it's all sank down there as well. That's all just pure air. So we're going to try to fix that. Right, so that's that all built back up again. Now our bushing, it's lovely and snug in there, no movement. The only thing we have to do now is do the very same thing on this side. Build it up. It needs a lot more work, but it's the same thing. I'm not going to put you through the whole thing again. It's the same thing again. Just weld around it, drill it out. I didn't have a drill bit big enough just to fit the size of the bushing, so that's why I use the round file just to file out the last wee bit. That's the other side done now as well. This little boy here will pop in now. There it is. It should make a big difference, hopefully. So just taking a little break from doing that loader and walking down here. It's been about 40 minutes since we put this cow in the calving pen, and there we have it. Little calf out. She was actually lying beside it when I came out. But that's another one calved. Leave her now for the rest of the day. She can lick that calf, and the calf will probably get up and hopefully suck. We have a white one over there that'll be going in for the night. I can't see her calving the day. It'll probably be tonight with her. And then our pet, Moodini, as you probably know her now, you've named her. She'll be calving probably tomorrow night in around that time. So anyway, back to the loader. So our mechanism is starting to come back together again. There's no play whatsoever now in that. You can see that's the pin just moving back and forth, but there's no play in that joint at all, nor in that joint there either. So the next thing I have to do is replace this guy here, and we're going to put this one in its place as a brand new one. So hopefully this one will make the whole thing work an awful lot smoother. So this guy was, just as I presumed, he was upside down. Don't know if it make any difference or not, but this is the way it's supposed to go, and we're going to bolt that all into place now, and hopefully that'll be a lot better. Here, through there. Then our ram is in here, back, and finished off with a lock nut. So that mechanism is running perfectly. I just need to move them pipes back a wee bit. Probably loosen these connections, turn them a bit straighter because there's loads of room, and have them coming out around here, because at that angle there they'll rub up again this, and it'll be no time until the pipe would burst. So one thing I did notice on this loader was there's two holes here on both sides, and as far as I was aware there's supposed to be a spring on that, and there never was a spring on this one. But it was only when I was getting the bits for this, the guy brought this diagram up on the computer, and I took a snap of it, and I could see that there's a spring, and that spring is missing. So that spring hooks in to there, which is that, and then the other end hooks into there. So there to there, there's supposed to be a spring. So we got that spring, and now it's a matter of just hooking it on. But I have a feeling it's not the right spring, because that to me looks a long way off. How am I going to get that over there now? Oh, maybe. Okay, I'm hooking it in there like that. Are we right? Oh yeah. It'll not latch in here, and the reason it's not latching in is because we have it pivoted this way, but if we have it pivoted back, it will. Bend him around a wee bit. There we go. I'm just going to cable tie them two together like that there, and this one's probably a little bit too long. That's probably a big reason why it's kind of still, well, it's not hitting it, but it will when I tilt it back, so we might as well just cable tie it up like that and I'll keep it away from it. Now that keeps it off it. I should walk an awful lot better. It just feels so much better. For now, it's a job done. It leaves that I can use this machine safely now and get on with the rest of my work. First time in a long time it hooked in completely on its own when I lifted it. Parts for Quicke now, they're expensive, no doubt about it. But it's a job like that, it makes things safer and a lot handier. It's kind of worth doing. So it's the next day and I'm not feeling much better, to be honest with you. But we're walking down a mysterious lane here, and it's not a lane that's on my property. So where are we? Well, this morning something cool kind of came to my head, and it was actually a phone conversation. It's just gone 9:30 here this morning. I'm just after doing the kids' school run, and I was on the phone talking to a mate of mine who buys a lot of my calves. It's usually the late on calves that he buys, my Aberdeen Angus's, Belgian Blues, calves like that. Sorry if it's a bit windy here, but I hope you can hear me. But he did buy some Friesians that were late on last year, and if any of you are long time followers of the channel, you remember 895 was one that had a problem with his back. Was born kind of semi-paralysed. At the beginning I didn't have much hope for it, to be honest with you. It seemed to be a pretty bad case, but Nicole and Sophia and myself, we took into it and we took it out for walks each day. It might sound hilariously funny, but we did. Physiotherapy, in other words. And the calf got so used to us doing that we used to go into the shed with a little bit of meal or a little bit of milk in a bucket, and the calf would come out, run around the house after us, and every day we could see an improvement. We kept that calf on for much longer than we'd normally keep a bull calf, and it was sold on to this man. I will put a link in the description that explains all this, because there's a video on that very calf, shows the tag number, shows everything, so nothing can be hidden. You're going to see what you're going to see, and I don't know what's in front of me, I don't know what's going to be like, but this calf is on this farm. It's an out farm of a friend of mine, about 15 minutes away from my own house. And after talking to this morning, he just said to me, why don't you go up and have a look at it? And I said, that'd be cool. We're going to go and look and see can we find this animal. I've never been on this lane in my entire life, but I was told to walk on, go to the very end of it, and it's somewhere down here with another batch of cattle. Well, we finally came to a gate, and there's a trot in front of us. I see cattle down there, and I see something that looks very like one of my cattle. Now, I'm sorry, the sound quality in this video is going to be terrible because we're very open, but what a view. Absolutely stunning view. That's what that is. Calvin does have some great views. We've got loads of lakes. Some of the nicest countryside you come across is different than other parts of Ireland you might see in postcards down along the west coast, where they have just exceptionally lovely cliff faces and things. Very different in this part, so you won't see any stone walls or any of that around here, but it's still a county that I'm very proud of. Now, where are we? And that's one of my calves. There it is. And up there, get a look at you. Jesus, that's Tara. I'm well impressed with that. Now, the guy that bought him did say he does have a little bit on the back legs yet. Is there a stiffness there? Go on, go on, go on. It's hard to know, because I don't see much wrong with him. None of them other cattle are mine, I don't think. Or were mine. No, that's the only one. I'm really happy to see that now. Really happy. So it just goes to show you a bit of perseverance. No, there's nothing wrong with that animal. Very young, that animal, bear in mind. That calf was very late calf last year. Lovely little Angus is there as well. All very young, but all very healthy. Thank very much to my mate for allowing me to do that. Stuff like that there makes the whole job worthwhile. And anyway, my girls would love to see that. So what I'm going to do is, tomorrow's a half day at school, and I'll be picking them up, and I'm going to throw a set of wellies on them. I'm going to bring them back in here and show the pair of them what their work achieved, because that calf, there's a high possibility it would not be where it is today only for them. And if that doesn't motivate you, well, nothing would. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching, and until the next one, talk to you again.